Hey everyone, Token Dave over here, the dorky talking black guy that's just trying to get by. And welcome to the first edition of my newest segment, First Attack. So, for the First Attack segment, I will be talking about the pilot or the first episode of a new TV series. I want you to keep in mind that my opinions and my thoughts are not a reflection on the series as a whole. This is just how I feel that the pilot or the original episode stands on its own as a launching pad for the series. You know, ever since Reno 911, I have been a fan of Niecy Nash. Her portrayal as Deputy Williams was something that stood out for me. Yes, it has something to do with her being an African American female, and yes, my following of her does happen to also coincide with the fact that I do find her attractive. But those aside, I've always found Niecy Nash to be one of those hidden gems of actresses, particularly black or African American actresses or actors. Let me explain. You see, when most people, most black folk, when we talk about an actor or actress, we normally talk about them because we see them on music videos or we see them in a TV show that, a large majority of African Americans themselves have watched. So most of these actors start out being very niche within that demographic. Niecy is something interesting. When I ask people if they've ever heard of Niecy Nash, they say no, not really, which I'm like, I find that very interesting. Especially since, she's been on the show, basically, Reno 911, which was basically a hysterical performance, but she was also in the show Getting On, which was basically about people working at mortuary and everything. And, she also stole the show there as Nurse Dee Dee. In addition, she was actually on the TV show Soul Man with Cedric the Entertainer, which I'll admit I didn't really watch because, I've always overlooked it, and, said kind of lost its flavor for me. Neither here or there, though, I've always had an admiration for Niecy, and when I found out that she was in a new TV series called Claws, I said, you know what, I gotta watch this show. Initially, when I saw Claws, I was like, it's just another one of those drama-ish shows and everything, but, I didn't pay attention to the fact that it's on TNT, which is one of my favorite cable shows for dramas, but, I found out about the show a little too late. Thankfully, my mother taped a few episodes, and I got to see, basically, the pilot. So, here is my take on TNT's Claws, alright? So, Niecy Nash stars as Desna, who is the operator of a manicurist shop, basically, or a nail salon. Let's just call it a nail salon. She organizes and helps run a nail salon with a couple of her closer colleagues, particularly someone named Paula, someone named Jenn, someone named Anne, and Virginia. And we learned that she actually has a boyfriend, and her boyfriend is actually the son of a local mafia boss and everything. I should say her boyfriend in quotes, because what it really is the fact that, basically, he has her working for him on the side as, in a money laundering operation. And this agreement was supposed to be a temporary agreement. Well, more like a year-long agreement for her to have a large payoff where she could open her own shop somewhere else in a more ritzier part of town. And as well, this would enable her to actually move to a better area and take better care of her mentally disabled brother who she lives with. So with that going in, basically, that's predominantly the plot of the show. The plot of the pilot. This pilot show is a little bit different as you go along, which I'm definitely going to do because I loved actually the character of Desna. Desna's one of those both Desna and Niecy Nash herself are one of those women that really, really say, yo, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, because not only is she gorgeous, but, she displays that type of, like, stand behind the brother, stand behind your guy, sister, and everything. Well, where she will do what she needs to do, right? But also knows that she does what she needs to do, but is not going to be fully taken for a ride. Even though, she does get taken for a ride, it shows that she's not perfect. But it also shows that she's smart enough to know that basically when she's in a situation, crap, she has to think quick about it and everything, which is something that I'm finding out that most people don't realize. In addition, basically, you actually get a sense of not only her character, but some of the other characters. For example, you get a sense of Paula herself. Well, her name is Polly, actually, but I call her Paula. I don't know why. But Polly is actually just got out of jail because she was doing a identity theft scheme, which now she has to pay a lot of money in restitutions for. You get Virginia, who's the youngest person of the whole crew and everything, who was a former stripper, who was the mistress of a politician in Mississippi, but, the politician went a little too far for her, and basically now she has to basically scrape it by as a manicurist. And then we also get a small sense of whom I feel is the breakout character of the whole show thus far, just from this episode, who's Quiet Anne. Quiet Anne being portrayed by Judy Reyes and everything. I'm keeping my eye out on Judy Reyes because, like, her character, while she's someone of little action, you get that, she is the muscle of the group, but not only the muscle of the group, she also fills out the LGBT, demographic of the show, because you find out that Quiet Anne is a lesbian, but, while she is the muscle of the group, she is not one of these butch lesbians and everything that basically people like to refer to. Virginia, played by, I don't know her name, to be honest, but I do know from my sister that basically she's someone that's known for being half Vietnamese, half African American, who was actually the girlfriend of Chris Brown for some time. And quite honestly, given that information and seeing the character of Virginia that she plays, I don't think that this character is much of a stretch for her. But that's just me kind of being prejudicial for someone. So that's my bad. I don't know that person very well. I could be wrong. So sue me. Anywho, so you get a great understanding of each of these people. In addition, the editing is actually very good, And one of the things about, I'm not a film expert or a shot-by-shot expert, but the way the show was edited and everything, it was edited in a way to, really accurately build up some tension, right? I actually saw some, a little bit of a motivation from Quentin Tarantino, with some of the shots where something's happening all the way around and you're supposed to focus on one area, but everything around the environment distracts you, and it really builds up the tension right there, In addition, we have two antagonists. Niecy's boyfriend, who's actually Desna's boyfriend, who is actually a real scumbag, as you will see as the episode proceeds, and Desna's boyfriend's father, who is the one that's holding the strings of everything, So this episode really got me interested in the series as a whole. I really want to see where this series goes. So basically, with good characters, great atmosphere building, and great hints and slow development of everyone, but yet easily to understand, I have to say that the pilot for Claws is a stunning blow and everything. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Drop me a comment. Give me a like. Subscribe to this channel. ring that bell so you know when a new video loads, and basically spread the video out. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy that's just trying to get by, and I'll catch you guys later.